Hi everybody, welcome to Seattle's Civil War Legacy. We are coming to you today from the Ording Soldiers Home Cemetery in Ording, Washington, about an hour south of Seattle. And today we're here to talk about Sergeant William Sickles, behind me here. He was a Medal of Honor recipient. He had an absolutely remarkable Civil War service. He enlisted in May of 1861, which is as early as it gets, really, in the 7th Wisconsin. Fought with the Iron Brigade through every major battle and campaign of the Army of the Potomac, which would include their baptism of fire at 2nd Manassas, Antietam, Fredericksburg, Gettysburg, the Wilderness, Spotsylvania, the Siege of Petersburg, and ultimately the fight at Five Forks and Appomattox in 1865. Sergeant Sickles received the Medal of Honor for his actions on March 31st, 1865, during the fighting at Gravelly Run. He, along with a comrade, fought hand-to-hand with 9 Confederates and captured a Confederate flag. And to hear about the comrade, we're going to introduce our friend Evan Muxon from the Wandering Historian to tell us his story.
As you just heard, Sergeant Sickles had a comrade on March 31st, 1865. Let me introduce you to Sergeant Albert O'Conner, the comrade in question on March 31st, 1865, where he, much like Sickles, enlisted in June 1861 in the same regiment of the Wisconsin Infantry. Both of these gentlemen, as you heard the Seattle Civil War Legacy talk about, saw the entirety of the Civil War, and this is incredibly uncommon throughout all Civil War veterans. But as Sergeant Sickles and Sergeant O'Conner did their action on the 31st, Sergeant O'Conner decided that wasn't quite enough. So on June 1st, he went out again, and this time he found a Confederate officer who he battled in hand-to-hand combat, killing him and seizing his colors. But on his way back, had to relinquish the colors to save his life when 9 Confederates surrounded him. And then sometime later in life, both these gentlemen make their way out to Ording, Washington, retire at the Ording, Washington Soldiers Home, and are placed in this cemetery roughly 10 years apart.
On Memorial Day, 1920, these 2 soldiers received their Medals of Honor, which is fascinating that they spent the entire war together. They participated in this action on March 31st, 1865 that would earn them this recognition and the Medal of Honor. And the fact that they're here together in Ording, not intentionally, it was really by coincidence that the 2 of them just happened to wind up here, retire in the same soldiers' home, and be some of the last surviving Civil War Medal of Honor recipients. In fact, Sergeant Sickles was the last surviving Medal of Honor recipient.
And on top of that, Sergeant Sickles actually went on to become a railroad conductor and retired out of that. Now, according to the records I saw, Sergeant O'Conner, who actually made it to bereft captain, which means he was only fulfilling a slot at the time, he just retired. In fact, that's all his paperwork says. What we really want to highlight here is the absolute rarity of these 2 gentlemen. Not only did they receive their Medal of Honor for the same action, and O'Conner for another action the next night, they also lived through the entirety of the Civil War, well before Lincoln was calling all the troops to come join the Union. And then, out of sheer coincidence or dumb luck or whatever you might want to call it, they both wind up in Ording, Washington, a small little city in the Pacific Northwest. And then even weirder coincidences is they are literally about 80 feet apart from each other. Now, we can't say definitively if they were friends or not, but I'd like to think they might have had some interaction later in life.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fair, and just a remarkable, absolutely remarkable piece of Northwest history. Not just Civil War history, not just military history, but really cultural history of this state. To have something this rare and this special as part of our shared heritage here in Washington.